recording.
Should be recording.
Hi Michael, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, not too bad, thank you. It's been a little while since I've seen you last, been at least 6 months, looking at records here. How can I help you today?
I guess I just need to continue on from where we left off and probably revisit a few things and see what we can do better and what not too, I guess.
Okay. All right, Michael, let's just catch up on a few things and see where we're at. I know that you had a few issues with you've had a few issues with digestion and bowel problems in the past, and I know that you've had a lot of problems with your back and pain with your back. How are all these things going for you at the moment?
I still have pain with my back.
Have you actually had x-rays done? Have you seen the doctor and had x-rays done?
I did have some x-rays done some time ago and was told there was a bit of degenerative stuff going on.
How long ago would that have been?
Oh, geez. 2 years.
2 years?
At least.
Okay, could be more?
Could be more.
All right. So we haven't revisited any of that?
No.
All right. We might have a little bit of chat about that one. Tell me what's happening with... Oh, I also see here that you've had blood pressure problems in the past as well.
Yeah.
So how is that going for you at the moment?
Well, I'm off my blood pressure medication. I haven't had that for a long time. I monitor at home from time to time, and you can kind of tell when it's not right and your head feels a bit horrible and whatnot. Generally speaking, it's like I say, I monitor it at home and it's not too bad most of the time.
Okay. Is there anything at all that you take for your blood pressure?
I might take some vitamin E, been taking some taurine. Magnesium, I take a bit of magnesium to help relax a bit, I suppose, plus with back problems and stuff.
Okay.
Muscles and seems to be helping.
All right. Okay. And what about with your digestion? Tell me what's happening there. Are you having any issues with digestion or bowel or anything?
I'm probably fine. I go bowel-wise, things go well for a week to 10 days, and then suddenly you go through a period of being a bit constipated, and not that you're feeling uncomfortable or not that you're feeling like you need to go. It's just, I don't know. It's just.
Do you ever suffer with diarrhea, or is it just constipation?
It can swing from being rather loose, not diarrhea as such, I suppose, but loose, but then it can swing from one to the other quite quickly.
Quite quickly.
Yeah.
When you say quite quickly, within the same day or the same week?
Within the same few days.
Few days?
Yeah, it can go from being, normal, and then a couple of days later, it's, and it's probably worse if you haven't done too much exercise, or if you're in the car a lot, or maybe it's not drinking enough water. I don't know.
Okay. Do you find stress plays a part?
Oh yeah, stress plays a part. Yeah.
Have you identified any foods that create problems for you?
Suspicious of the rice cakes. I think they tend to, if you have too many of them, I think that tends to play up a bit too.
And what do you refer to as too many? How many can you get away with eating? without
Oh,
having a problem?
if I have 2 or 3 with breakfast with a bit of avocado on them or something, or an egg, that's probably all I can get away with. Um, then if I have them for lunch as well or something, um, I tend to think that's possibly pushing it a bit.
Okay, so can you get away with eating that 2 to 3 for breakfast every day?
Pretty much, I think, yeah.
Okay. What has your diet been like overall of late, Michael?
I
Can you
don't
tell
think
me?
the diet's been too bad. Breakfast is probably, some avocado or and eggs on those rice cakes, although sometimes I have a crumpet instead. I'm trying to get away from having those rice cakes all the time. It means having a crumpet now and again, and um, that's usually breakfast. I don't typically eat anything between meals. Lunch will be next, and that might be leftovers of whatever was in the fridge from the night before or something, or which might be chicken with vegetables or something. Don't always heat it up, just have it cold. And then an evening meal. I'm trying to think what we had last night. We had some chicken and veg, and well, I can't think of the name of those noodles. They're kind of those. I can't think of the name of those noodles. They're usually in the cold section at shopping in the supermarket, and they're kind of like not an egg noodle.
Um, like a yellowy coloured.
Yeah,
sort
they're
of
yellowy
noodle.
colour. Yeah.
I
They're
think I know what you
floppy
mean.
looking.
Yep.
I can't think of the name of them. I could just go and pick them up.
Yep. Not a problem. I think I know what you're talking about. How are you consuming coffee, water, alcohol? What are we consuming here?
Not much alcohol. That's down to, at the most, one, maybe a scotch or something which would only be once or twice a week. It's not much.
Okay.
Um,
Do you mix anything in that scotch?
no, ice.
So just ice.
Ice.
Okay.
So it turns out to be scotch and water.
Okay.
Um,
So you're saying about twice a week?
yeah, that'd be probably the tops at the moment.
Yeah.
Not much alcohol.
So you don't consume any beer or?
No, I haven't
nothing?
been, because that tends to bloat me.
Okay.
I don't mind beer, but it just makes me feel yuck.
Okay.
Makes you go to the toilet too much, pee-wise.
Okay. Yep.
Water, probably not drinking enough water, but yeah, I don't know how much water I drink a day. No idea. Maybe a litre. Coffee, generally speaking, 1 coffee a day. Might have a milky drink in the evening before bed.
Is that instant coffee or is that real coffee that you're drinking?
That depends. Could be a real one. Could be a instant.
And how are you drinking that? Do you drink it black with milk, with cream? With
Bit of cream. Usually, sometimes if it's a real coffee, it might be with cream. If it's instant, it'll be just with milk.
Okay. And your nighttime drink?
Bit of cacao or something in milk. Sometimes half milk, half water.
Okay. So is that the most amount of milk that you will consume is in that nighttime drink? And is that like in a mug of drink?
No, not a mug. Usually smaller.
A small cup.
A small cup.
Teacup size,
teacup size. Not a lot of milk. A litre of milk usually lasts quite a number of days.
All right. Are you a big fruit eater?
No. Probably tend to have a few bananas, a few avocados, just whatever is in a salad or something. But no, I don't eat a lot of fruit.
Okay. Would you eat 1 piece of fruit a day?
No, not always, no, because it's not often there.
All right. Okay, good. So you're eating lots of veggies every day?
Oh, yeah, lots of veggies.
Salads, cooked veggies, raw veggies. How are we doing that?
Usually cooked veggies.
Okay, alrighty.
You know, sweet potato, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. Not much capsicum, maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Carrots, that sort of thing.
Yep. Okay. It sounds like the diet that we put together for you last time. You're sticking with that pretty well.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you're staying away from your nightshades and
Yeah, although I suppose that the capsicum's a nightshade, isn't it?
mm-hmm,
yep. But there's very little capsicum.
Very little. You're staying away from your tomatoes.
I haven't had tomatoes for ages. Yeah.
So I remember that you were having a little bit of gout before. Yeah. Okay.
And I tend to notice a couple of fingers are a bit funny. This guy here's got a bit of a funniness to him, and
a little lump on him there.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you get much pain in your fingers? Or
I get
wrists?
a lot of pain in that one actually. It's cold weather's worse, and changing the weather if it's. And I just noticed of late this other one's been playing up, and I'm not sure if it's in. It's in that part there.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what exactly that is.
So
I don't know whether I hurt myself or whether there's a bit of something going on there. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, let's try and follow that through a little bit. Do you get any pain in your wrists?
No.
No. Do you get any pain in your elbows?
No.
Your shoulders?
No more than working type pain. No.
Okay. Hips?
Hips can get a bit sore, yeah, but that's work related too, I suppose. I would have thought. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Knees?
Not typically, but did a paving job the other day, and yes, they're sore.
Okay. Your ankles, toes, feet, anything like that? Neck?
I can get neck pain. I can get back pain.
Yeah.
Toes. Occasionally, I'll get a bit of pain in one toe, a couple of toes. Not bad.
Okay. When you wake up in the morning and get up out of bed, do you find that you do that easily, or are you a little bit stiff and take a little while to get moving and you know, any aches and pains kind of?
If I've done too much physical work, yeah, it takes a bit to get out sometimes. Then you get moving and it's not so bad. Mm-hmm. If you've had 3 or 4 days off from not doing that sort of rough nonsense, you usually get out reasonably well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Right. Have you ever had the doctor do a breath test for you for any like H. pylori or any of those sorts of things? When was the last time you had a blood test done with the doctor?
The last time I had a blood test done was when I had appendicitis.
Mm-hmm. Do you don't know how thorough that test was?
No, I don't know how thorough that was. No.
Okay, all right.
And that was a bit over 12 months ago, that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And they removed your appendix?
Oh yeah, it was gangrene, horrible. Yep. Mm-hmm. Emergency.
And you got over that all right?
Oh yeah, I got over that all right. Occasionally I get some pains in the abdomen. I reckon there's a bit of I don't know whether scar tissue lesions or something. Mm-hmm. Something, you know, they poke around in there. They must, you know, things have to settle, or maybe they settle in the wrong spots, and then I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you get when you say that sometimes you have a little bit of problem with your bowel, and do you get actual stomach pain with that? You, cramping?
No,
Um,
no.
you don't get any problems with discomfort in your stomach from eating any different foods, or
Um, I suffered in the past with different foods, I suppose, giving me troubles. Um, so I guess if I eat fish and chips or something, and if there's too much batter, or um, sometimes that can give me a bit of a problem.
do you think it's the batter, or do you think it's the greasy food?
I think it's I think it's the greasiness sometimes, or whether the oil's not so fresh or something when they cook it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if I don't eat so much of that, well then I don't have the problem either. But creamy foods used to give me problems, but I haven't had that sort of issue for a while either.
So, if you, when you ate creamy foods in the past, was it even just a little bit that created a problem, or was it if you indulged?
Probably if I had a little bit too much, because you need to go out for feed or something and possibly
Enjoy yourself.
Probably enjoy it too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably smaller amounts to deal with better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have cream in your coffee, or just having those small amounts, do you eat butter?
I cook my eggs in butter.
Yeah. You eat cheese?
Yeah, have cheese.
You have cheese. So none of those sorts of things create any problems for you now?
Well, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. All right. Do you get burpy?
Yeah, I can burp on cue.
Yeah. Okay. when you're just relaxing, not thinking about things after you've eaten food, do you get a little bit gassy or something?
I suppose I probably do a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. So, what do you think about the idea of perhaps visiting the doctor and having some blood tests done and a few little tests, just to catch up on a few things that might give us a few more clues as to what's going on for you?
I guess if I need to, I should, perhaps.
Might not be a bad idea. We could get a full blood done and see how your liver and kidneys and everything are functioning. Maybe even perhaps, have you ever talked to the doctor or had any dealings with any autoimmune problems, or anything in your family, any autoimmune?
Not that I know.
Okay. It would just be a little bit interesting to perhaps check with what is happening within your joints. Talk about your hands.
I think my
and
father
that.
had a funny finger like that.
Yeah.
So he's not there to talk to anymore.
It would be interesting to know if you're having any sort of arthritis issues, or even if it were to be something like rheumatoid arthritis. That is an autoimmune, and it would be good if we can find out what the inflammation is, especially also that you're prone to having inflammation in your body from different foods and things that you consume with your gout and those sorts of things. Where is, what is really causing these problems? I would like to start to look at whether or not you are suffering with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and a few little blood tests and things like that could help us just understand really what is going on. If there's any, perhaps talk to the doctor about getting any tests done for any bugs or bacteria that may be sitting within your digestive system that can upset things a little. And we no longer have that going, do we?
Got a green light there, so I don't know.
Okay.
No idea. I think it's still going. Yeah. Have to edit that bit.
We will have to edit it if we can. Michael, I guess I'm interested to know what sort of exercise you're doing at the moment.
Oh, I do a fair bit of walking. Out on the farm, it's pretty hilly out there, and up and down dale a fair bit.
So you're still doing your farm work?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that I think you were involved in some sort of home business before as well?
Oh yeah, still doing all that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a fair bit of reasonably heavy lifting in all of that.
Mm-hmm. And what about the stress involved with it?
It's still there. Hasn't gone anywhere.
You're still dealing with a lot of stress within the business.
Yeah.
You did have your home up for sale as well a little while back.
Well, we did sell a place and moved on and building again, but yeah, it's just life is just a constant sort of financial struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how do you deal with that stress? Other than internalising it, do you have any strategies so that to help you cope with those stresses?
Jump on a motorbike, go for a ride. No real strategies. No.
How often do you go for your motorbike ride?
Not often enough. Just probably should sell it because I don't use it enough.
Okay, weekly, monthly, daily?
Probably monthly.
Monthly, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your exercise consists of what you do at the farm?
Pretty much.
So you don't
work is exercise. What you do with work is where you get your exercise.
Okay.
Apart from going for the odd walk to go down and check the molasses lick for the cattle or something, isn't? Yeah.
Okay. So do you know what I'm talking about if I talk of, say, how you would go walking mindfully?
No, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
All right. You know about meditation?
Yeah, I know about meditation, but I don't do it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Don't know how to do it.
Okay. All right. What about things like massage?
Oh, my wife will give me a massage occasionally.
Occasionally. All right. Okay.
Particularly when the back's been a bit crooked, then she just gets cranky because she says she hasn't done the exercises.
She might have something there.
Oh well.
Oh dear. All right. So it sounds like there are a few strategies that have been put in place for you somewhere along the line to deal with a few bits and pieces. Maybe we need to look at how to bring this together again for you a little bit better, and maybe we can talk about bringing in a few little new strategies for you so that we can get you into a good habit. Maybe that's something that you feel you can work with to try. And I'm not going to ask you to jump over the moon but I'll ask you to at least start trying a few little things, and we can support you through that and see where we're going.
Okay.
Okay. So, Michael, would it be possible for you to do a food diary for me?
Oh yeah, I can write it down. That's not a problem.
I could probably even give you a blank form that might make it a bit easier for you just to fill out
Yeah. Okay.
each day.
I can do that.
Could you do that for me for
What,
2
a week?
weeks?
A week, 2 weeks.
Or is 2 weeks okay?
I don't mind. Yeah.
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 Okay. You think
Try
you
to
can do
remember.
that one for me?
Mhm.
Would you take a trip to the doctor for me and just get some really good blood tests done and x-rays, and to have a good talk to the doctor about catching up on some of those things?
Yeah, I can do that.
So that if we do that and do your 2 week food diary, that would probably give us a good time then for you to come back and see me and see what we're dealing with there on some other levels. What are we going to do about exercise for you? And when I say, I know that I hear it a lot from you guys who are farming, but I do my exercise on the farm. The problem that we have with that is that you're doing it as work, and it's really still under a certain stress rather than just being able to relax and think about nothing, and let the world go for a while and just have a nice, relaxing walk.
Attempt it.
Okay, tell me how you see that being able to be implemented for you. How would you start trying to do that?
Well, I guess it'd be just go for a walk from house down to the dam or something. It has to be something you can do at home because we don't live in town.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. If you're living out on property, a nice walk where you can just let the world go for a while. And, excuse me a minute. Just turn that off. Yeah, just to be able to let the world go for a little bit, de-stress. I guess I'm a little worried about your levels of stress, and it would be nice if you could just forget about everything for a little while and enjoy the sun, the trees, the birds, the wildlife, whatever it is that is around you. Just take that in, and this is where we start to talk about being a little more mindful, aware of your surroundings, rather than our minds focusing on stresses and whether we've got go and pay the bills this week, or whatever else might be going on for you. I think it's important to be able to do that and do that well.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like something you could have a bit of a practice for me over the next couple of weeks?
We can see how we can endeavour to have a go at that.
Yeah. Okay. What has your sleeping been like?
Oh, a little bit all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Well, I recently started turning off the Wi-Fi and NBN and all that sort of stuff at night, and that seems to help get a better night's sleep. Um, um, yeah, I find, once you probably don't, you get to sleep, and then if you wake up through the night and go to the toilet or something, probably takes a bit of getting back to sleep again.
Yeah.
You know,
And so, what's happening within your own mind or your brain when you're laying there trying to get back to sleep?
you just start thinking about all the stuff that's going on day to day, and yeah, probably doesn't help anything either.
Okay. So you're not able just to let go of that and hop into bed and just snuggle back into sleep again?
No.
Right. Okay. Do you often have to get up through the night?
Usually get up once a night,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes twice a night if a cat wakes you up and wants to get out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any urinary problems at all?
Um, no, but I don't. Well, I don't think so. Most of the time, that all seems to work reasonably well. Sometimes I know when you're stressed, sometimes it can be harder to have a go to the toilet sometimes, and um, it's probably worse if you haven't gone when you've needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
That can be worse. It can take a bit of
little bit to get things going.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a good strong stream when you go?
Oh, it's as good as it's ever been. I've never, only a small bloke with only. It's not like some of the guys next to you. For me, it's probably as good as it, reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't have any stop-start or any of that sort of thing?
No, usually once it starts, it's okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes getting to start, like I say, if you
can be a little bit hard.
Particularly if you've driven a long way and haven't stopped or haven't been able to go, and then you do try to, then that can be difficult. Yeah.
So, do you think your bladder is emptying properly?
Not always, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And do you have any problems with dribbling?
Oh, occasionally, not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I noticed in times past you were taking a product called Men's Balance.
Oh yeah, I was. I haven't been taking that for a while.
Mm-hmm. And have you noticed a difference?
Probably was better when I was taking the tablets. Probably made everything work a bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe that's something we can look at, perhaps having another little bit of a go with again.
Maybe you've got some herbs or something that you can mix up that might be a good little tonic.
Sure, we can look at something like that.
Because those Men's Balance are getting pretty dear.
Yeah, not a problem. We can have a look at that. That's not a problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Michael, do you mind if I just take your blood pressure while you're here and see how that comes up?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
I think in the past you did mention to me that you tend to have a bit of white coat, high blood pressure.
Yeah. As soon as I go to the doctor, bang, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think you will be like that with us as well?
I don't know. I guess we'll soon find out.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
That one, dude.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. Okay. Do you want to just?
You don't like purple, do you?
Purple
this, purple that, this.
I do have a little bit of a weakness for it.
Purple shirt.
Third time for an average?
What's that?
Third time for an average?
Oh, third time for an average.
Mm-hmm. Just make sure we are really getting what you really are.
Uh-huh. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? So what is it?
It's not too bad. It's 125 over 80.
Well, that's okay.
It's good. Not scared of us then, obviously.
No,
Just
how do you want to take that?
Thank you very much for that. Okay. All right. So, we'll have a look at your food diary when you bring that back, and your blood tests and things that you get from the doctor. If you can just get a copy of those to bring back. I know that if you see Dr. Moodley, he's quite happy for you to bring those back to me. Yes, have a good talk to him about the X-rays and things, and see. I think it really would be a good idea to have your back checked again, and just have a chat to him about the
See where it's at.
and things, and see where it's at. At least that way we know where we're going with you as far as sending you to any other therapists or exercise or anything that we're doing with you. We know where we're going and we're not doing any more damage than what you're doing to yourself out on the farm. All right. And I guess if we at least get your walking happening, and let's have a look at that, and see if we start feeling any better and feeling like we're able to deal with stress a little more. There is always the option of sending you to a counsellor or something like that, or somebody else to chat to about any stresses, and they can help you learn other strategies to help as well. I'm quite happy to perhaps give you some herbs that may help you a little bit as well. Help you deal with your stress. Will help you to cope with your stress. Perhaps help you sleep a little bit better. There may be things that we can do. But to really find out what is happening within your digestive system, I think we need to start putting a few of these things together so that we can follow it through and really map out what is happening for you.
Okay.
Are you happy with all of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll write up a little bit of a script here for you with some herbs, and we will see where we go from there. I'll give you some pieces of paper with a diary easily set out that you can just fill in for each day, and see where we go from there.
Okay then.
Is there any other questions that you have, or anything that you feel I've missed with you today? Or
no, I guess how long? When would I come back again then?
I'd like to see you in a couple of weeks. So if we can look at 2 weeks, if it takes an extra week, say, for all your tests from the doctors to be done, that's okay. But if you get into them pretty quickly, we should have all of those things sorted quickly anyway. Probably find that that's fine. We can always make an appointment for you for 2 weeks' time, and if you haven't got those things done with the doctor, well then you can always just give us a call and say, look, I need a few extra days, or following week, or whatever.
Okay. Okie dokie.
But yeah, I would really like to just follow some of these things through and double check and see what's really going on within your system.
All right then.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
And perhaps on the food diary, if you find that you eat or drink something that you may have a bit of a reaction to,
Just
note it down.
Mm.
Yeah, just anything like that that you think your body may have reacted to. It's good if we know. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I know that with your diet last time, we ended up taking you off grains and those sorts of things. I see you're sneaking in those really lovely crumpets.
Yeah, well, there's got to be something more than just rice cakes.
Tell me, how did you go? I know we gave you a recipe for a really lovely bread, I believe, that was made with your coconut flour and banana flour. Did you find that to be a good substitute?
Yeah, it's fun. It's good. Had it a few times, and I guess it's more about having things just at your fingertips.
Yeah. So your wife makes it up for you, does she?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Look, it is a little difficult, and I understand that sometimes when we have such a busy life, and it can be so much easier just to go to the supermarket and grab whatever's on the shelf and have that. But then if we suffer for it, we know that we're not doing our body well.
No, well,
okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're doing your bone broths and those sorts of things as well?
Occasionally, yeah. Probably not as often as it was, and yeah, we'll see how all that changes when we move into the house after it's finished being built. We'll have an oven again and things like that.
Yep.
So yeah, there have been some challenges, I guess. So.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So over the next few weeks, and if we're needing you to come back, perhaps over the next couple of months, we'll start to see some changes in your life, which may help you to settle better as well and get a better understanding of things. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, Michael, thank you very much for coming in today, and let's hope we can really get on top of things for you and just make life a little bit better for you.
Yep, sounds good.
Let's see you in 2 weeks' time if you don't have any other questions.
No, that's all good. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye-bye then.
Bye. Okay. How do we turn this thing?